All right, Knicks Nation, let's get into this. The New York Knicks went into Amway Center to face the Orlando Magic. Knicks came off a brutal loss to the Miami Heat, so they're looking to bounce back against the young Orlando Magic team. But they should have known that they needed to come with their A game because this Magic squad is feisty. Knicks would start out slow. They were actually down 19 points at one moment to begin the first half. However, they would fight back to make this game interesting. You'd see some good play from Julius Randle, especially from Quentin Grimes, who was just knocking down most of his shots. And Emmanuel Quickley would come back into the third quarter and start getting into a slight groove. And by the end of the third quarter, the Knicks would tie it all up at 75 each. But because of some questionable shot selection and poor three-point defense in the fourth quarter, the Magic were able to take advantage and get some timely buckets, especially from Wendell Carter Jr., Gary Harris. But there were two dagger threes to seal this game. One from Paolo Banchero and the other from Cole Anthony. Ultimately, the Knicks would lose this one 106-111. And here we are. Salute to Knicks Nation. I'm Alex Gutierrez, aka the Stratocaster. With me on the other side is Chris LeBron. Tonight we're only taking calls by the Discord, so make sure to download the app. TM, if you're here, please make sure to drop the link into the chat. And this show is sponsored by Manscaped, PrizePicks, and Athletic Greens. All right, Chris. How are you feeling, man? How are you feeling after this game? For me, I'm irritated, but how are you doing?
Other than, man, this one was tough. This was a frustrating loss. Very frustrated loss. Tough. Just very tough.
It is tough, man. And I don't, the Knicks really needed this game tonight for me. And as the resident guy who jumps out the window, I'm not coming right back in. I'm not walking back in. I'm not doing any of that stuff. But I'm starting to get a little concerned, man. It's at the point of the season where we got 8 games left, and I need to see this New York Knicks team be in a groove going into the playoffs. Now, like I said, there's 8 games left, so the Knicks could turn it around. But to go on a 3-game skid and you lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves, a game that you should have had. You then face the Miami Heat. And I have my gripes about the Miami Heat game. All right. They could have played better defense. There's some questionable calls from the rest, but ultimately the Knicks got to show up and play. And tonight, where you come out the game just slow to start, give up a 19-point lead, nasty business. There had to be a sense of urgency from this team, considering you're without Jalen Brunson. All right. So I'm aggravated. I'm slightly concerned, but there's still 8 games left. The Knicks could easily turn it around, get back on a winning streak, and things could go, everything could be all hunky-dory. But let's get into some of the specifics of this game, man. And I'm gonna just start it off with, I want to know your thoughts on Julius Randle right now, because you're the one that gives him the moniker Hoopius. So, we saw him get into a little scuffle, get a technical by the end of the half. He was in Quickley's face. You saw Johnny Bryant and other guys and Grimes as well trying to cool him off. This is now the 3rd game this season where he loses cool.
Yeah,
I get why he's frustrated. You're getting hit midair. You're looking for calls. Totally understand, man. I totally understand. But at the same time, you got to keep your cool. Your team is trying to come back. You're edging, you're chipping away to dwindle the Magic to lead. You got to keep your cool, man. Also, you got to be like some of these other players in the league, just like, how to be friendly with the ref. Just put your arm around him, talk to him, be like, hey, man, have a friendly conversation with the guy.
I don't get why my players don't do that.
Instead of just like barking at somebody, like how many times, like it's like the same person where you're in, whether it be Walmart, Target, whatever. It's like, I demand to see the manager. It's like, yo, you are coming hostile. I don't even really want to help you right now.
Exactly.
All right. And Randall's got to learn to cool it, man. He's got to learn to cool it. What are your thoughts?
I've defended Randle a lot this year, more than I ever thought I ever would with Julius Randle. I couldn't. This is not defendable. Like it was super excessive. And then it's one thing to bark at the rest, whatever. We see that all the time. But your teammates are trying to protect you because they don't want you to get attacked, and that's points on the board potentially for them for Orlando. And for him to, push off, and he's always doing the pushing off, but then again to IQ's face. That's where I was like, oh no, he's gone way too overboard right now. He's doing way too much, way too much. That's unacceptable for someone who's supposed to be the leader of the team. You can't act that way. You can't act. They're just trying to protect you so you don't get attacked and then a double tech, because you know how quick the whistles, the refs can blow the whistles and get you out of there. Especially in a game where it's a close game. You know, that's unacceptable. That's something, and it feels like of late he's really. And I understand he's getting fouled and all that, but there's you got to be able to relax and calm down in that situation and not getting you don't get in your teammates' face like that. I'm sorry. You want to get in the ref's face, whatever. He's been doing that all year. Players do that, but not you don't get in. That's unacceptable. You don't do that to your teammate. You don't show them up like that, and that's inexcusable. That's inexcusable. You can't do that. Sorry.
Yeah, you got to have better. You got to have better awareness when you're on the court. It's just, especially in a game that you need. There has to be a level of awareness. You just lost to the Miami Heat. You have the Brooklyn Nets playing tonight. You're not solidified in the fifth spot right now in the Eastern Conference. You're still battling it out. There's 8 more games left. You got Miami who's trying to catch up. You got the Nets if you're trying to keep up with the Cavs because you want the 4th, even though it's right now, what was it? You got Cleveland barely squeaked it out. So they did us a favor. They did us a favor. Right, Cleveland won tonight, so they did us a favor. But before that, you're not you still got to know that you're competing, man. Like you're just competing.
It's just inexcusable.
The thing is that it's over these last 9 games that his play has really been up and down. Since the Hornets game, after that Celtics game, man. I'm thinking it's exhaustion. Look, tonight he dropped 23 points. He went 7 for 20 from the field. Not efficient, 2 for 9 from downtown, 7 for 10 from the free throw line. You got your 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. But watching this game, like especially in the first half, you saw he was not in rhythm. He tried to get to his spots. Paolo was just not allowing it. Wendell Carter, when he was on him as well, it was a battle, man. It was an absolute battle. And, I talked about it on a previous show where, good players can get to their spots and do all those things and they can knock down buckets. To be considered a great player, right, you have to understand how to bend the defense to your will. So if they're not giving it to you, if they're not giving you any space to operate in your natural game, you got to figure out how you're going to draw the double team, the triple team, get your other guys involved, and just have that awareness. And it not only goes to your players on the court, your teammates on the court, I should say, but it also goes to your on-court attitude. And look, everyone's been dealing with the refs. The refs have been an issue league-wide. You have the Mavs out there protesting. So it's not just a Knicks thing.
Yeah, it's a whole war right there. Yeah.
It's a whole thing throughout the league, all right? But Randle's got to be better than this. I didn't think he truly played his best game tonight. He tried. He slightly came alive in the 3rd and 4th quarter, slightly, but for overall, when you're missing Jalen Brunson, I'm expecting more, in all honesty. I'm expecting more.
Yeah, he's like a different player.
And shout out to JTA in the chat. He said 7 games left, not 8. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, he's like a different player without Brunson out there. He's like a completely different. And I feel like he let Paolo get in his head a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. It felt like he let Paolo get in his head, and it's like you letting a 19, 20-year-old get in your head. It felt like, and I remember that from the last matchup too. They got a little into it, and because Paolo gets a lot of, a lot of people say like he has, very, Julius Randle type of game potentially. That could be, what he is down the line. But Paolo was getting into him, and like, there's not a lot of people that can move Randle. Like,
there was a drive where he came down and he
I see that
and I was shocked. I was like, wow,
Alex, that doesn't happen to Julius Randle. Nobody moves him like that. And Paolo's is a 19-year-old kid who's a promising, and he moved him like he was. And I think that got into Randle because it seemed like little things and all that. And Paolo, that one play, I think Paolo had an one. He was getting hype and all that, and Julie was looking at him and is like, you can't let these youngins get to you. You've been in the game too long for let these youngins get into you. And I felt like let that bother him a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other people think different, but I felt like that kind of let him, little. That's why he played so erratic. He let that matchup with Paolo get to him too much.
Maybe this is the new bonus that he needs to get him juiced throughout the rest of maybe not this season, but next season. Next season. But another guy, man, that didn't necessarily play too well tonight was Emmanuel Quickley. Went 7 for 17 from the field. He had his moments. I feel like for Quickley, when it comes to the offense and distributing, and his shot selection was off tonight. Like he got a 7 for 17. Like I said, he got you 25 points. Got to the line, went 9 for 10, 2 for 7 from downtown. Got you 5 boards, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. I thought he had an okay to game, just because there were moments where he was taking shots, and I'm like, why are we taking a shot here where you should be facilitating? You don't need to be calling your own number. I believe it was when when the game got tied up in the third quarter at 75-75. There was a 3 that he tried to pull that he did pull, and I'm like, man, we gotta stop with, like, as soon as we get the game tied, we're gonna try to go for the kill shot. You gotta slowly build these leads. It was like yesterday against the Miami Heat. You tied the game up. You don't want to go for 3, especially when this team is not shooting well from 3 at the moment. The last 9 games, Chris, this team is 20 through the last 9 games now. This team is 26 in the league, shooting 33.2%. Okay, this team was on an uptick. Once they played the Hornets, everything after that Celtics game, that shooting has now disappeared. And I don't know where it is. It comes in ebbs and flows on some nights. Tonight they shot 30% from the field, which is below league average at 35.7%. So look, it's Quickley with his shot selection, shot making, stuff like that. It's just been a little erratic. He had some defensive moments. He's been okay. I think he could be better on the defensive side. I think it's starting to slip a little bit. I'm guessing for this entire team is just the fatigue of an 82-game season, but I wasn't necessarily too thrilled with his game tonight either. What were your thoughts?
I agree. This is a perfect example of when if you just look at the stat sheet, it doesn't tell everything. Like he didn't play great. Same thing with Julius Randle. You look at stat sheet, you might think he had a great game, but same case with him. It just wasn't good. And that's the thing is, especially with Brunson out, not having a point guard that could slow down the game, not having that type of backup point guard that could slow down the game, this is where it hurts the Knicks a lot. And I've talked about that, them needing that type of point guard. It's tough for that because now Quickley has to be a facilitator and all, and that's not essentially his game. So now he has to worry about being a playmaker and all that, and scoring too because Brunson's out. That's a lot of points that's not going to be there. So trying to do a lot of things, and that's just not his role. So we get a lot of bad shots, a lot of bad passes, and all that. We saw a lot of bad passes and all that. So that's where not having a good veteran backup who can just slow down the pace and all that, especially with Brunson out, that's where it hurts this team right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at there's just moments, man. It's just I would like to see Quickley get back into a rhythm because we have seen him be a playmaker. We have seen him be that shot creator. We have seen those moments throughout the season. I wrote an article for KnicksFanTV and talked about how Quickley's been so important, so vital for this team. Mm-hmm. Third most important player is where I put him. And just because the consistency that he's given off the bench, whether it's scoring, whether it's looking for his teammates, it's something I'm looking for again is like the Hartenstein pick and roll because that was successful. Haven't really seen a lot of success with that as well. In the past, we used to see him finding Obi Toppin out in the open court. We're not seeing that either. No. Moments, decisions like that, we need Quickley to get back into a groove with the playoffs coming up. But another guy, RJ Barrett, he had some solid games, man. And now we're going back to another clunker. The moment that really irritated me the most was fourth quarter. He's dribbling too much, was indecisive where he wanted to go. Turnover, Magic get it, dunk it on the other side, and you just extend the lead, I think, to 8 points. So it's for RJ tonight, you could see that he wasn't decisive, and I understand it because he's been used to getting downhill, and this Magic team was walling the paint. They got the size, they got the height. They made it difficult for everybody who tried to drive into the lane. Even Mitch had some difficulty getting rebounds and doing his work in the paint as well. So I get that, but you got to figure out another way to work it, whether it's playmaking. Once again, it's adapting to what the defense is showing you and trying to make something out of nothing. RJ's got to be better, though, end of the day.
He is frustrating today. And there's just a lot of times where when he has the ball in his hand, he's trying to take dudes off the dribble. He just doesn't know where to go. And it was frustrating watching him today. Like, he just didn't know how to use his handles and all that. And that's kind of been what we've seen so far in his career and all that. But that was frustrating. And the defense, man, the defense just hasn't been there. His defense has been really bad this season, like really bad. Like if you look some of the deep in the numbers, it's like it's borderline like in Joe Harris territory, which is not good. You don't want to be compared to Joe Harris defense. It's been that bad. So it's frustrating. It was a frustrating day and all that. It felt like a game where he can, be comfortable, taking over, but it just wasn't the case. This wasn't the case at all.
No, but you know who did have a game today? Quentin Grimes. 2 games in a row. This guy is coming back out, starting to show what we need from him. 3-point shooting. Thank goodness. At least someone decided to show up to the office today and put in that work, because he went 10 for 18, 5 for 10 for downtown. Got you 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. I thought Grimes had a really good game. To be honest, he was the guy that kept us in this game throughout the entire night. He was that dude. Without Grimes, this game would have been a lot worse. And we talk about guys getting hot at the right moment. When you talk about playoffs coming up, hopefully this continues, because he's been struggling to find his shot. But it was good to see him for a second night in the row be consistent from behind the arc.
If he doesn't have this game, maybe we lose by 30. It might have been that type of game. But back-to-back 20-point games for him. He's been struggling. He's been struggling a lot, with the shot and all that. Minutes have been up and down. But he needed these back-to-back games. So, if it wasn't for him, this might be a way worse loss. So, he showed up, looked confident. We need him confident. And when he's confident, he's rolling. So, very, very, very big performance. We needed this. We needed this big time. Yeah,
it is. And I see stock chasers in the chat. Yeah, it is an embarrassing loss. I'm not saying that it isn't. I didn't say that it was. Grimes is the only guy that played well.
Yeah.
I am slightly concerned. I'm not climbing back in the window. I am slightly concerned that this team is on a 3-game skid, and especially since they lost to the Magic and the Timberwolves. But I'm not going to make it seem like those two teams are just scrubs. The Orlando Magic are the same team that beat the Boston Celtics this season and won the series on them.
They beat Utah.
They beat Utah too. This is a scrappy team. This is a young, scrappy team.
They're better than their record. They're way better.
They are very much so better than their record. Do not be fooled by their record. This is not the same lowly Magic team that you could just go walk in to their arena and just go mop the floor with them. Okay? This is a tough team. Should the Knicks have won still? Absolutely. The Knicks are the better team.
The Magic are the
I'm not saying that I'm not concerned. Not saying they're not concerned.
7th worst 3-point shooting team, and we let them shoot 40% from 3.
And we shot terribly.
Yeah.
Chris, we shot 42% from the field. We shot 30% from 3. We missed some free throws. When you start missing your shots, and when you have poor perimeter defense and allow these guys to get hot,
wide open, Alex.
It's going to happen.
Wide open. How many times? Everyone's Wendell Carter wide open. Paolo had some wide open threes. Crazy. It feels like what happened last year, like when the perimeter defense was so bad. It's like it reminded me a lot of last season. Like, oh, let's not get back to that. That was not good. The 3-point defense. Like, let's not get back to that. Like, that's what it felt like today.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. All right, Chris, let's get to the phones. Let's hear some takes from some other Knicks fans. Hear what they got to say about this loss to the Magic. So for all you out there, if you don't know, we're only taking calls by the Discord tonight. So make sure to download the Discord, as TM has so graciously done. He is linked it to the top of the chat, so you can go there, download it, join KnicksFanTV Discord. Also, you should just be in there. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. It's a great community in there. Make sure to go check it out. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Let's get to this. We got Ari on the line, since he is a channel member. Also, if you're a channel member, make sure to link your YouTube account to the Discord. That way you'll go straight in to the members lounge and get that easy pass access. All right. So Ari, my man, what's going on? How are you doing today?
What's up, Alex? What's up, Chris? You guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Yo, this channel membership is the best money I've ever spent in my entire life. I can't believe I actually got the Easy Pass. This is like the best day of my life. Definitely get the channel membership if you're in the chat. I highly recommend it.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, I mean, listen, man. I think overall it's not a big deal that they lost this game. I think it's more important that Brunson gets healthy for the playoffs. You know, we have 7 games. We're going to end up getting probably the 5th or 6th seed, whatever the case may be. But I think this is what happens with Tom Thibodeau teams. They go, they don't play the marathon game. They run this thing like it's a sprint. They're not only fatigued from the physical aspect of the 82-game season, but mentally playing at like a playoff intensity every game for 82 games mentally is just hard to sustain. And I think that you're seeing the cracks in the armor, and this is what happens, right? This is what happens with Tom Tibbs teams. Julius Randle, man, listen, I want to clarify. I said he proved me wrong. He got back to his COVID level MVP, and he did get to that point. But I never ever suggested building around this guy. He just, he's a talented player. He's a great player. I don't trust this guy. He folds under pressure. He fights with the refs. He fights with someone whenever he's having a bad game. Every single time he has a bad game, he fights with everyone to the point where it's like literally he has no control over his emotions. And in the NBA playoffs, if you're trying to win now, which this team is trying to do, because we traded a draft pick for Josh Hart, who's now blocking Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett and Quickley. But if we're trying to win now, we need to win now. I don't trust this guy in these late game situations overall. But at the end of the day, my expectations were a first round exit. I think we're headed for a first round exit. But the silver lining is that we know who the keepers are. I feel Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickley are the keepers. And I hate to say it, but if you're going to trade for that superstar, that means RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and everybody else is available in that trade. Honestly, that's what I think is going to happen. But as long as we know who we're keeping and who we're going to go with and who we're going to use to trade, I think the season's a success, even if we do get washed in the first round.
Is Jalen Brunson a keeper? Because I didn't hear that name.
No, Jalen Brunson's a keeper, but the problem with the Knicks is that they need Jalen Brunson to play like Allen Iverson in order to win. Remember, he was averaging like 30 points a game for like 25 games. He was like amazing, Jalen Brunson. That's when the Knicks were good. But to expect some guy of his stature to average 30 a game, it's tough, man. But as long as, listen, we have the draft picks, man. As long as we keep the picks and we identify who we're keeping and who we're moving on from, I think that's all right, bro. So I wouldn't get too mad. You just have to have normal expectations. So thank you for the call, guys. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate hearing from you, Ari. All right. Rational takes by Ari. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
I was shocked.
For everyone in the chat and everyone at home, I want you to rate that call. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. That was a good call by Ari.
That was a very rational, great call. I was not expecting that.
That was a good call by Ari. Ari was not sipping tonight. I can see that. He was not sipping tonight. He was like, let me be rational tonight. It's a Thursday. I'm not too worried about this game. But you know what? He's like, I already see where this team is. Okay. I respect it. And you know what? He's got points when you're looking, if you're looking to upgrade like this team is, and you're trying to move players, you're thinking about Obi, RJ, guys like that. I mean, we'll see. We don't know right now. A lot will be uncovered. A lot will be unearthed in the playoffs.
We also don't know their value too, because their value may have not been the way it was in off season too. So we got to see that.
We'll see. We're going to learn a lot when this team gets into the playoffs. So it'll be interesting. But I agree with them. I agree with the Quickley portion, although you have quotes from Emmanuel Quickley saying he wants to be a starter.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things coming out. It feels like it's crazy. A lot of things are coming out. Mitch is not happy. Like, he wants a bigger role. IQ wants to be a starter. Like, it's crazy how suddenly this stuff is popping up.
Well, look, these are athletes. We're talking that they're playing at the highest level possible. They're going to have egos. They're going to believe in their talents. You don't get there without a certain level of confidence and work ethic to get into the NBA. Okay. And when you see guys who've improved their games, whether it's at the speed that you want it to be at or not, they have improved their games. When you look at Mitchell Robinson, Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, all these guys have an expectation of what they see themselves in the NBA. And look, the business side, their age is going to help them achieve those goals. They're going to try their best. So if Quickley thinks he could be a starter and it ain't on the Knicks, I wouldn't be surprised. None of those things would surprise me. These guys got egos, all right? And it's not to say in a negative sense, but they have to believe in themselves in order for them to compete. If you don't, you could be humble about it, but at some point, you got to believe in your abilities.
No, I believe you. I'm 100% with you, but it's just crazy how suddenly just a few games left in the regular season, we're hearing a lot of stuff now. So, it's just crazy how everything's happening right now. But I definitely get you with that, like egos and guys want bigger roles and all that, and that's understandable and all that. So, like I said, the playoffs is gonna really dictate how our off season is gonna go, because it could it could be a seismic shift and all, like if things don't go our way, So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect the exact same team to be back. You hear how other teams change and make tweaks because they don't want to have the same team coming in there. You need to change it up a little bit. Very few teams are able to have that type of nucleus where you bring the same players back and really get to compete year in and year out. So we shall see. But let's get back to the Discord, Chris. We got D Block on the line. D Block, what's going on?
You hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. What's going on, D Block? What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
D Block from the Bronx.
D Block from the Bronx. What up, man?
I'm frustrated.
Tell us why you're frustrated.
This game. This is what I be saying when I be calling it. This is this typical game where you truly see if Tibbs is a good coach and what's really going on here. Even if we make the playoff, I do not trust him. Watching this game is so frustrating. It's between Randle and RJ. They like an extension with low IQ next to no IQ. I want to call out one specific play. You saw that play? Remember that play when Randle dunked the ball?
Yes.
After passed it to Grimes. Grimes was about to drive. And it's just, I watch these games over and over, and it just drives me, annoys me when I watch Randle and RJ when they pass these balls. When they pass the ball, why are you going into the lanes of the other when you pass the ball to these other players and you know what they're gonna do? And RJ is so frustrating. I keep hearing that he's 22. I have not seen his game progress this year. He's so slow on every aspect. He can't guard nobody. His tunnel vision drives me crazy. He looks so lost and confused on his drives. Like, what is he doing? And I'm so glad IQ stood up to Randle, because Tibbs will not do it. And I'm sick of Randle. I tolerate Randle because he gives us something. But between him and RJ, something has to change. Something has to give, because I'm proud of them, and I know we're gonna make the playoff. But really, I gotta agree with Ari. We gonna lose the first round, because I don't have no trust in Tibbs. Tibbs look like what are we doing here? Again, I called the last time I called, and I said, again, Brunson's not playing. Why you didn't use Derrick Rose? He can give us 3 to 5 minutes to run this, because you can clearly see the dysfunction, and we look so lost when Brunson is not playing. Yeah. And it's annoying, because this game we had no business being down by 9. What are we doing here?
So what would you want to see Tibbs do tonight to change things up?
He could have played Rose. He could have, and then I want to root for Obi, but sometimes I don't even know what Obi's doing, and I don't know if it's the lack because he don't get enough playing time. I mean, come on. It's just frustrating. I'm so frustrated because I want to see us win, and we do need a star. But I mean, RJ is like everybody killing. And when I look at that class that he came in, okay, I see whatever's going on, but he's truly the worst. I don't know. It's just frustrating. And I appreciate y'all. I need y'all because y'all help me. God know y'all help me. I almost broke my TV tonight, man. It's so frustrating. And then Tibbs, he just over there yelling all the time. Yeah, what are you yelling about? You call these timeouts? I just don't see nothing productive. And I give it Tibbs to do. He's got us here, but he's really reached his point. We need the next level. We need the next level. And if we're gonna go to the next level, you telling me I say, I look at this draft coming up, it's gonna be some players. It look like we're gonna get a good pick. We're gonna get a couple of, but I just don't trust Tibbs. And I don't trust him with an all-star because this is a crying shame that he allows what Randle do. Like Randle should not be handling this ball. He has no business. When Randle plays good, it's when he's not thinking. But he has no IQ. His passing is awful. RJ looks lost. Two regular games with Grimes. He's doing his thing, but he's learning. I like Quickley, but it's like Quickley can't do everything.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And appreciate the call, D-Block. Appreciate you calling in. D-Block is annoyed, man. He is aggravated.
He's frustrated.
He is frustrated, and I totally understand that. All right? I totally understand that because you just watch this team. Like lose to the Orlando Magic. We were riding high on a 9-game winning streak, right? You want to see all your guys develop. You want to see all your guys just go out there and perform, and then you get performances from Randle where, he's starting to lose his cool again and all that. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I wanted to see Rose tonight, though. I like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is my guy.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Look, man, the last time Rose came in, even for those spot minutes, whether he was playing serious or not,
he didn't lay it.
And even at the beginning of the season, it was a little rough. And that's my guy. That's my guy right there.
I'm good with that with no Rose. Maybe more McBride minutes. He only played 6 minutes, so maybe we get more of his minutes. Maybe he can contribute better. I don't know. I just think it was just a game that just, they just didn't have it, regardless. So
yeah, they didn't have it. But he talked about Obi, man. He was even talking about Obi, and it's like, how do you feel about Obi Toppin? I mean, we're still getting the same 12 minutes from him at this point.
I'm done.
That's my guy, dude. That's my guy. I want to see him get minutes. I want to see him develop. It is like pulling teeth at this point just to get anything on the court from him.
It's a wrap. I'm over the Obi stuff. It doesn't fit at all. It doesn't fit at all with this team at all. Like he just looks lost. He was a minus 25 today. Like just not good. Shot selection, like. It's just not good. He doesn't know what he's doing out there. I've said this with Obi. If he doesn't have a point guard that knows how to find him in space, he's not very useful. And we're seeing that. And that's why it's not good. It's not good. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's not on this team next season.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised either. Yeah. I mean, look, he's the 8th overall pick, man. He's only getting 12 minutes a game. He was even starting off the year with more than 12 minutes per game. But then when he got injured against the Atlanta Hawks, Randle started to catch on fire, and then he comes back and relegated to 12 minutes. Is he getting less than what he got in the past? It feels like he's getting less than what he got in the past, man.
It doesn't fit. People were clamoring. I know a lot of people were clamoring to him to get more minutes. He should be playing 20. He should be starting and all that. Trying to say Julius Randle for he could start and get minutes. I never saw it. And I saw it early in his career. And I remember people pre-draft telling me, like, he's going to struggle in the league. He's going to struggle. And I'm like, no, he's an athletic player and all that, scorer and all that in college. And they're like, no, he's going to struggle. You're going to see it. Watch. And they were right. And that was early when I was trying to figure out the whole draft stuff. And I get it. I see everything, why he's struggling. And they were right. And I'm seeing it. And it's not good. It's not good.
Part of it, though, is how do you utilize him? And for a guy like Tibbs, where you're trying to force him to be something, there's always coaches that you see, and this goes across all leagues. There's coaches that can take a player and figure out how to mold them to fit them into their system and show off their skill sets, right? Like we've seen that whether it's Pop, with Kerr, like there's guys who can do that. And then there's coaches who legit have to draft guys who fit their needs because they can't do that. And that's just kind of what Tibbs is. It's not kind of, that is. He needs to draft guys that fit his system and play to his system. It's not somebody that can be creative and say, I can figure out where to put this guy and get him some good minutes and really show off his skill set. It may not be consistent. They may get consistent minutes on a nightly basis, but when the opportunity presents themselves, I can figure something to get them out there.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between some coaches, and Tibbs doesn't fall into that bucket.
Yeah, and I see some people in the chat say, "Well, he's 24. You got to give him time." And the last caller mentioned RJ is we can't always use age as an excuse. Like, yeah, guys got, but like we're what we're seeing is that something that you're like, oh man, he's developing well. Well, it's on the court, like it's just not good. Like, I know, yes, age is he's young. I know he could get better, RJ and all that, but what we're seeing from them two is like, I don't know. Like, just because you're 22, 24, you're young in the league, that doesn't mean that like that you're going to keep getting better and all that, like, and all that. Like, especially when you draft people top 10. These are top 10 picks we've taken. We took RJ third, we took Obi eighth. Like, it just, I'm watching, and I don't see that upside that some people are seeing. Like, it's just, and I saw that early with Obi. I saw that early Obi. I was like, oh, man,
you have to be realistic in what you're expecting from them. I mean,
it's really,
if you're looking for superstars, I could have told you that we're not getting superstars from either one. But
I think people saw a superstar with RJ because what they saw in college, right? I think, and then like he was the number one recruit in high school. He had reclassified. Steve Nash's nephew, got whatever he is, godson, whatever. Like, I think, and then just how hyped he was coming out with that Duke team. I think people maybe thought that he could be a superstar, but he was also a player that a lot of people pre-draft were like, there's some limitations, and there's stuff that you just can't teach. It's just something natural, like it's very stiff and all that, just some things you can't learn, and just but like the expectations for him are, we got to be relaxed with, but the star, I know it, we're clamoring for a star, and I think that's why people are just, we want it, and I think that's
yeah, he's the highest draft pick that we had since Patrick Ewing, so you're hoping for him to come in here and be the savior and all that, but look, it doesn't happen. Not every player is going to come into the league at a high draft position, be the superstar, be the savior, and take your team to the championship. Sometimes they're going to end up being role players. Sometimes they'll be high-end level role players. Maybe they become a star. Who knows?
He could be a borderline all-star.
He could definitely be a fringe all-star. But I say the way that the team since he's been on the Knicks, no team has really been built to show off his skill set to the fullest. This is probably the most of like any situation where it's like, this is your defined role. Every year, the role has changed for him. Yeah. First year, it was a Randle show. Second year, 3-and-D. All right, with a snake dribble. Last year, you got relegated to the fourth. You had Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, and then you had some moments with RJ. So it goes back and forth, okay? Has he progressed at the speed that everyone wants to? No, but the age 22 comes up saying he has a long time to potentially figure it out. Some guys take some time. Some guys take a little bit longer than others. We'll see, all right? No one's saying that he'll be a superstar. There's guys who take time to figure out, find their role, develop. It happens for a lot of players out the league.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the Discord. Got another channel member in here. We got Knicks Take Jake. What's going on, Nick Take Jake?
Hey, what's up, Alex, Chris? How are my levels? You guys hear me okay?
Yep. What's going on, man?
All right. What's up, guys? Yeah, obviously disappointed. I had to go ahead and join. I got to get my take off the fast pass. Shout out to my man Ari for the heads up. Just joined this evening, so definitely want to support you guys and the brand.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. But look, here's where I'm at with this team, and look, we got to start looking towards the playoffs. We got to figure out how we can get right quickly on this team. I think that after the Miami game, leading into the Boston game, the Charlotte game, and so on, first it was fatigue with Julius Randle. Then the fatigue started setting in. His play started getting worse. He was being less efficient, really seeing him run out of gas in that fourth quarter. Tibbs not adjusting his minutes. He's going on the podium making jokes about, I'm going to load manage your questions, this, that, or whatever. And this is the conclusion of what is at the end of that road when Randle gets frustrated with his play for long periods of time. And I don't want to really hear about the refs. I don't want to hear about free throws. Julius Randle averages the 15th most free throw attempts in the entire league. He's taken the 8th most attempts in the entire league total. So it's not about the free throws. It's not about the refs. He gets plenty of calls that are soft, that, he gets the grace of the ref and he goes to the line. But mainly my issue with this team and Tom Thibodeau, the way he is managing it, is that it is starting to affect other players on this team. The defensive intensity has significantly dipped over the last 3 weeks since the beginning of March. Jalen Brunson, dead last in defensive rating. Julius Randle, 8th last in defensive rating in the entire league. So intensity is not there. The focus is not there. You see Emmanuel Quickley's game dipping down. When he has to play with Julius Randle, it's a tough task when he's in that mental state to play your game. And I think that if we're really drawing conclusions, IQ has found a way to play his own game, and that's when he is playing his best. Go look at the Celtics game. He was killing it. I think he's thinking a lot. He had a really sloppy game tonight. I mean, RJ Barrett, you never know what you're going to get out of him. He's been trending up. He has a bad game tonight. And in terms of schematics, the tallest player on the Magic tonight was 6'10". And I know my man Mitch Robinson is upset about his role on the offensive side of the ball, but how many games are we going to go by that we don't take advantage of size mismatches in the paint? It's just very confusing to me. There's only really one guy I can point to, and that's Tom Thibodeau. He's got to reel Julius Randle in. I don't know how you do it. He's never done it the 4 years that he's been here. Somebody's got to step up to the plate. The thing that happened with IQ, to me, was inexcusable. And guess what? We got a playoff series in 7 games, guys. Like, I'm starting to get a little nervous over here. So that's really my take. I think that Tibbs needs to do his job. I think that this team needs to regain its focus. Get into that playoff mindset and put your best foot forward and hope that, we show up to play first round of the playoffs. That's really all you can do.
Yeah, I hear you. Appreciate the call, Nick. Oh, well, Jake, I should say. Your Nick Take Jake. Nick Take Jake. Is your name Jake? Just make sure we got your name right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, Jake. Where are you calling in from, man?
I'm in Dallas.
Dallas. All right, Jake calling in from Dallas. Appreciate the call, man, and appreciate the support. That was a good call, man.
No,
I like the takes. I liked what he had to say. I thought he made really good points about looking at the defensive effort on this team. It's the same thing that Ari mentioned too, where you're playing at a high level throughout all 82 game season, and this is where you're starting to see teams. Why there's a whole load management thing. There's a big debate about it, right? How much time is worth missing? Should you even play all 82 games? And we're starting to see the toll that it's taking on them. And this is where you get when you have guys on your bench, and I've been asking for it, and I know I've heard before, Alex, they're not going to do that. I get that. I make the suggestion because they should be doing that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When I see Giannis Antetokounmpo logging 32 minutes on the nightly when the game's like out of hand, whether the Bucks are up by a lot or if they're losing, he doesn't play many minutes unless it's a tight competitive game and you need him to. But for the most part, they manage his minutes because the thought process is we got playoffs down the line. We got to worry about these guys being fresh and ready to go when money time comes around. And that's why I'm all about resting players and whether or not they take off 5 games, 10 games, that's a whole other different discussion. But managing the amount of minutes they're playing is very important. Look, I'm not going to place the blame of Jalen Brunson's injuries on Tom Thibodeau. But if you're playing 110% every single night for 82 games, it's a lot of stress on the body.
Yeah. That's what I feel like it's happening to Randle. He may need to just be like, hey, I know you're Superman and all that right now, but maybe it's best that you take a game or 2 off just to get that body get rejuvenated. Because it seems like he doesn't have the legs, and I like the big thing is load management, like you mentioned, right? And we're criticizing players but like sometimes you gotta tell the player, hey, I know, you take pride in playing every game, but playoffs is coming soon, and guess what? The fans rather care more about the playoffs than you playing 82 games. Because if we lose in 5 and you're not at your best in the playoffs, it don't matter if you played 82 games. No one's gonna care. They're gonna care that we lost in 5 and you didn't shoot the ball well. Look, so we tell them like sit down, like we got a couple like the Rockets game, like hey man, just pick this one out. Like I don't know, it just seems like he may need
Well, the thing is now
we're in crunch time. Yeah,
now you're in crunch time, right?
So it's like could have done that before.
It's tough when you're in crunch time and you're trying to solidify a position, and now you're at the beck and call of all the other teams around you. And this is where you have to figure out how to. This is where I talk about creativity. And as much as I like Tibbs and all that type of stuff, and I was on that train saying you don't fire him, what he did the season before that, and he's done a good job. I'm not gonna wash that away. Do I have gripes with some of the things that he does to this, how he manages his team? Absolutely, absolutely. When it comes to the offense, absolutely. I got. Shout out to Daniel, who's doing all these memes as we're on here. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate all these comical memes of Tom Thibodeau. But look, when it comes to the offense, you're gonna hear. I got some gripes on that. You know, when it comes to managing minutes, absolutely. There's no reason that when everyone's healthy, Rams got to play 38 minutes on the nightly. No reason, unless it's a close game.
Mm-hmm.
It's even when we've seen this before. We could see games where we're, blowing out the Detroit Pistons, and guys are in there before on the first night of a back-to-back, and we're here scratching our heads saying, Tibbs, I get about guys need to be in rhythm, but
this is the Tibbs that people are
really
worried about.
You really need to put another 7 minutes. You need those extra 5 minutes on the legs. Like, come on now.
And it gets people's flashbacks of Derrick Rose playing in those last minutes against the Philadelphia 76ers. And that's what everyone thinks of. And that's his MO, is like just overextending players and all that. So, because if we go into the playoffs and we got dead legs and we get ran out the gym, we're going to come back to this stretch and be like, man, did you really need to play Julius or Brunson these extra minutes, or, keep them in the game? We're going to look back at this stretch and be like, man, maybe this is the stretch, because it looks like we're dead right now.
Getting back to the Discord, we got Stay Mellow on the line. Stay Mellow, what's going on?
Come on.
Yup. Stay Mellow, are you there?
We got you. Come on.
Going once? Going twice? I see that you unmuted your mic.
Yep.
All right. You're gonna go back into the lounge. We're gonna go to the next one. Going to the next caller. All right, Rambo, get ready. We're bringing you in, Rambo. Go bring Rambo in. What up, Rambo? Rambo, can you hear us?
Oh, Rambo.
Gotta be ready on the Discord. I know my guy Rambo. He probably stepped away for a bit. We're gonna go back into the chat again. Come on, guys. We all got to be ready for this. Got to be ready for the phone lines. Discord. Got to be ready for the Discord. Come on now. All right. Gonna bring in Red Man. Whoa. What just happened? Bringing the wrong person now. It's funny when someone leaves, like the whole thing just swaps around. Red Man in there. What's going on, Red Man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up? How you doing?
We already know Tibbs ain't gonna take us to the promised land. That's number one. Number two, I think at this point we should just face Philly, and the reason for that is, at least if we play Philly and we lose to Philly, we're not gonna have pressure. We're gonna say, okay, you know what? We lost to Philly. We expected that. But if we beat Philly, that'd be a great story, and we wouldn't have that pressure. Now, if we play Cleveland and we lose to Cleveland, man, that would really hurt. You know what I mean? And Cleveland's just looking really good these last couple of games. So I just don't feel comfortable playing Cleveland at this point, and especially the way we've been playing, man. That's my thoughts. What do you guys think?
All right. I mean, I appreciate the call, Red Man, and I don't know how I don't necessarily agree with that, because I feel like there's no pressure either way for the Knicks, because
I don't think there's pressure,
because we came in, Vegas has it 39.5. So I think a lot of people around thought that this team would probably most likely, even myself, I thought this would be a play-in team that was trying to get in.
Great.
And now if you're telling me that we are a 5th seed, that's already a success for the season whatsoever. Jalen Brunson performing the way that he did. Emmanuel Quickley has developed. Quentin Grimes has developed. Mitchell Robinson has developed. I consider that success.
I agree.
Whether or not we have pressure to defeat, I don't think we have pressure to defeat Cleveland at all. I think there's just a
That's a media
storyline.
thing.
It's
That's a
just a
media thing.
storyline.
Yeah.
It's just a storyline with Cleveland. So if you get
Yeah.
Cleveland, the whole thing is, do you want to hear the storyline? If the Knicks beat Cleveland, the storyline's, oh my God, Knicks were great because they didn't need to get Donovan Mitchell. Now Donovan Mitchell probably wishes that he was on the Knicks. If it's the other way around, it's like, oh, the Knicks should have gotten Donovan Mitchell. What mistakes did they make? Oh my goodness gracious.
That stuff, yeah.
And
That's
at the end of the day, and CP and I discussed it. If you're telling me we're getting a competitive 7-game series, right? All right, I'm not putting a mandate. I know some people are out there like Knicks have to go to the second round. I don't agree with that.
No.
If you're telling me we get a competitive first round matchup, and these games are being decided down to the last second, if you're telling me that, I'm not going to be thrilled. I hate losing. Don't get me wrong about it. But at least we get some clarity in saying, okay, now we know where this team's going. I didn't expect this team to win a championship. I still don't expect that. All this is a learning experience to figure out what do you need to add the next season. Everyone goes through their ups and downs through their whole playoffs. You can go, whether it's Jordan, whether it's the Bucks, whether it's the Warriors, whether it's Boston right now, whoever. Everyone's got to go through their ups and downs to figure out what they need to do, what adjustments they need to make, whether it's the players in their individual game, whether it's the coach to their schematics, whether it's the front office saying what type of talent do we need to add to this team. It's all a learning experience. I just don't want to get washed. I don't want to see a gentleman's sweep. I don't want to see none of that. It better be a competitive 7 games or the Knicks moving on to the next round. But at least give me a competitive 7 games.
Yeah. If we get a competitive 7 games, that's all right. Like if we're competing, and like I said, as long as we don't get destroyed at 4 and it's a blowout 20, lose by 20 every game or gentlemen.
Yeah, don't give me the Hawks. Don't give me the Hawks matchup. That's nonsense. That's not success. If that happens again, that's not success.
Yeah, but even that, we had Mitch wasn't playing, and it was just Julius Randle and company. So, but I don't think it's a failure or whatever. A lot of people are thinking though that it's a lot of people didn't expect us to even make the playoffs. Like I said, I had them around a 38 to 40 win team. Like you said, you thought there would be a play-in team. So you have to temper expectations. Like the sky isn't falling. Yes, we've lost 3 in a row, but it's we gotta relax. We gotta relax, people. Just like lost 3 in a row. Yes, we lost to Orlando, but like I said, this isn't. You don't look at the record with Orlando. Like this is a team that's beaten some good teams this season. They beat Utah when Utah was rolling. They beat them by 20. So let's just temper expectations. It's a tough little stretch. You're going to be all right. Playoffs around the block. We're in the playoffs. We're going to be in the playoffs most likely. So, we'll see what happens then. When the playoffs happen and we get a better understanding of how we could go about the offseason.
Yeah, we're going to get more of an evaluation. I agree with you, Chris. I agree with you. We got some super chats in here, so let me give us a shout out. First of all, shout out to Chuck D. Throw a hashtag PE into the chat. Chuck D with the $10 super chat says NBA teams have memories. Miami, Orlando were revenge games. The adversity teaches us better than ending the season on a win run and losing game 1. We must win game 1 against everyone, anywhere. It's a reset. I like that. I like that take. Because you need a little bit of adversity, man. Knicks were riding high. They were on top of the world. Everyone was talking about them as being the hottest team in the NBA. You do a reality check. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially getting ready for the playoffs. I think builds character. If you're able to bounce back from this, you can get your mind right and get ready for the playoffs. 100%. All right, we got a $5 super chat from Christian B, a channel member. Thank you for being the channel member. He says, you know what you will get from Brunson every night. Everybody else is a toss-up. As of right now, yes. Everyone else is a toss-up. Earlier in the season, I would probably said, I know I'm going to get from Randle in the first quarter. Brunson consistent throughout the entire game and quickly coming off the bench. Mitch, some solid defense. As of right now, this team is it's in a weird spot right now. Everyone needs to get focused, walk back in.
And Brunson.
Get back on
need
track.
Leadership on the court. Because
we need
now you have Randle doing what we saw Randle do the last few years, force it too much, try to do way too much with the basketball, and we don't want that. So it shows how important Brunson is to this team.
Yep.
And to Randle, especially.
Absolutely. And we got another super chat. We got Pudge Forever with a $5 super chat. He says, if Knicks get swept in the first round, will Tom Thibodeau be fired? No. I don't think he'll be fired.
I
don't think he'll be fired at all. I think because he already is taking this team to if taking this team to 2 playoffs after years prior, that's success. I think the minimum was just a play-in when we're talking about play-in, maybe playoffs. If he did that, then
if we collapsed and lost, another 6 in a row, if we have an epic collapse right now,
you'd have to be blown out by 20 in 4 games consistently to say, all right, this team's not buying in.
It would have to be an epic collapse for this team for him to get fired. Like we're right now 2 games out of the 7th seed in the play-in. Like if we just keep losing and we're in the play-in and we get blown on the play-in, then I can be like, all right, maybe Tibbs is on the hot seat. Then that's viable to get fired. But it had to be something catastrophic. I don't think a first-round playoff series loss, even if it's a sweep, means he's going to get fired.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. We got TM in the chat saying, watch them give him an extension. I don't know about that now. I don't know about that. He has to do more than just playoffs to get an extension. I don't know about all that.
Next season, I think is
next season will be. You got to go further than what this season is.
Yeah,
right?
we got to get to the second.
Yeah,
it depends on the roster is, but like next year is a big year for him. Like I think it's do or die for him next season for sure.
All right. Oh, here's a good one. We got JD with the poll out here. Daniel picked that up. Oh, whoa, Daniel, put that one back. Whoa. What are we doing here? All right. If the New York Knicks end up losing the 5th seed, would you consider the ending a collapse by the team? And we have, as of right now, 159 votes on JD's Twitter poll. 67.9% saying yes. Would it be an epic?
Wait, so if they don't lock on to the 5th seed, they thinking it would be a collapse. What if we're the 6th?
Yeah. I
wouldn't say it's a collapse.
I wouldn't say that's a collapse.
I don't think
if you get into the play-in, that's a collapse.
If you get to the play-in and lose, that's a collapse, like we just mentioned before.
No. If you get to the play-in in general,
also to you, general,
you cannot go to the play-in.
What if they win?
No way.
So no play-in. Play-in's bad for you. Period.
I don't want
no matter what.
Play-in.
I know it's risky. It's definitely risky. But to me, a collapse would be play-in, and then they lose both games.
No.
That to me would be collapse. But yeah, play-in would be bad though. But I don't. If they get to the 6th seed, I think that's not a collapse. I wouldn't consider that a collapse. They're only a game ahead and a half ahead of Miami, so I wouldn't consider that a collapse, but disappointment. But
you can't go from 5th to play-in to me. That's too much.
No play-in. No, okay, I'm with you now. You can't get to the play-in.
That's too much of a drop. All right, let's keep the show moving on. We're going to go to by the numbers. So if we look at this game by the numbers, Chris, let's see the team stats and see how this team performed against the Orlando Magic. All right, so tonight, not a good shooting night for the New York Knicks. Even though they shot 42% from the field, they shot 30% from 3, 12 of 40. We need this team to bounce back. As I said, the last 9 games, they're shooting 33.2%. Needs to be better than that, man. If this team's going to stay competitive, especially in the playoffs, need to see that improve. They shot, it's not horrendous, but it wasn't great either. They shot 76.9% from the free throw line, missed free throws, really biting the Knicks in the butt towards this game because it was close down the stretch. But the big number to me that I can say is, once again, a silver lining is 26 assists. Without their guy Jalen Brunson, they were swinging the ball around. So not too bad for not having your floor general on the court. You do want to see that happen because everyone's going to have to be involved when it comes to playoff times. All right, we can't go strictly isolation for all 48 minutes. That's going to be wild. But the number that I hate the most, the largest lead for the Magic was 19. Man, could not tolerate that. You can't be down 19 points in the first half and then work all your way back to tie it up and then lose. But being down by 19, you should never happen in the first place. All right. This is a team that you should have gone in there defeated. Not too thrilled with it. What numbers stick out to you?
Just the giving up 40% 3-pointer, to a team that's bottom tier in 3-point shooting. That's just inexcusable. Like, and we saw, like, they just left guys wide open. Wendell Carter was wide open. Like, everybody, like, Apollo had wide open shots. It was just way too many open three. Like I said, it reminded me. Gary Harris had too many wide open 3-pointers. Like, it just reminded me of last season's defense, how it was just so inconsistent. So the 3-point shooting, to me, against Orlando, that's not a good 3-point shooting team. That's, to me, it's inexcusable, even if Brunson's out. No excuse to give a team that's so bad at 3-point shooting 40% from the inexcusable.
Yeah. Not totally inexcusable. And for all you out there, By the Numbers is brought to you by PrizePicks, one of our sponsors. And hey, if you haven't played already, make sure to download the app and try it out. I highly recommend playing PrizePicks. It's a fun game. It's a game where you'll have players. You'll see players throughout all sports, whether it's the NBA, NFL, MLB, whatever sport you're into. You can mix and match all the sports as well, where you'll see odds of whether or not the player will have more or less than the numbers that are already provided. So for tonight, right? If you look at myself tonight, I selected. Let me just pull up my PrizePicks. Let me pull up my sheet right here. For tonight, I chose. Let me get the reset so that way I can see how I performed. So for tonight, I chose Donovan Mitchell to go more than 26.5 points. I hit on that just because against the Brooklyn Nets, I thought it would be a good matchup. The Nets, even though they have good defenders, I thought Donovan Mitchell will continue his hot performance as of late and really want to solidify that 4th seed. So I thought he would have a good one. So that's why. So him getting 31 points, good for me. Another one. Mikal Bridges, he's been good since he's been on the Nets. They need somebody to be that number one option. He's kind of been that number one option for that team. All right, it was at 23.5 points. I chose more, and he got 32 tonight, and that's why you saw a nice competitive game between both those teams, the Nets and the Cavs. 116-114 Cavs winning, helping the Knicks. Another one I took tonight was Josh Hart with less than 6.5 rebounds. He's kind of been struggling to get on the boards, even though he's averaging 7 rebounds. So I took less than. He got 5 boards tonight, so I hit there. And I took RJ Barrett. He's usually good on these. I took RJ Barrett to go more than 4.5 free throws made because he gets to the line a lot. He would have hit that if he didn't miss a couple free throws tonight. And that's another reason why I'm irritated, because you should have knocked down your free throws, RJ. You should have knocked them down. And the last one, still waiting on this game to start, is what's going on here? I chose. It looks like it should be going. I don't know what's going on here. Where's the Bucks? No, Bucks are for tomorrow. I took the Bucks for tomorrow. Sorry, I took the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, because now they're now adding games a day in advance. So I took Giannis Antetokounmpo for more than 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So tomorrow we'll see what happens. But as of right now, still winning a little bit of something. I just need one more to really get a little extra something. So hopefully Giannis has a good game tomorrow. And so for all you out there, I highly recommend download PrizePicks. Make sure to use the promo code KFTV. They'll match up to $100, 100% match. So if you put in $25, they'll match $25. 50, 50, 75, 75, max $100. They'll match you up to that. Make sure to download the app or go on the website. Very easy to use, very fun way. Make sure to bet responsibly and make sure to use that promo code KFTV when doing so. All right. Now that that's done, let's get back to the Discord and get some more people on the line. We got a lot of people on the line, so let's make sure we get to as many people as we can tonight, Chris. Let's make sure we do that. All right. So Rack City, bringing you on. Rack City, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm not clear.
Yep. You're on. What's going on, bro?
I'm not trying to hit the button yet. I don't want it to panic, but the trend of where we're going is definitely not good. And it's not so much about whether we're winning or losing, but it's how we're losing. Randle is becoming a real concern for me. Again, he's a great talent, but the mental state is a huge problem. Arguing with players, cool. Arguing with refs, which you wouldn't do it, but all right. I thought he was going to duff Quickley. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? These are conversations or interactions you have with your teammates behind closed doors. In the barracks, we have these arguments, we have these rebuttals. But when we're out on the battlefield, we're all one. And Julius, he doesn't get that concept. He has every game. There's a reason for why he gets hot headed and he loses his cool. And I think teams are starting to pick up on that because you notice if anyone's going to trash talk anybody on the Knicks, it's Randle. We want to see Randle get crazy because if Randle gets crazy, he puts his team in a negative position. And that's definitely going to be used in the playoffs because anything gets used in the playoffs. So I don't know. And I feel like it's too late for Tibbs to reel him back now because that was Tibbs' boy for the longest time. And now if you even try to have any sense of consequence to his actions, it's like, really? We're 7 games out from the playoffs, and now you want to say something? It's a weird feeling, and it kind of makes me wonder if that interview they had with Cam Reddish on the whole politics. It feels like people get favored and yada yada yada. It's sounding more true the more you look at how these games are being played and how Randle's handling himself and how Tibbs is just sitting there watching. He's not coaching. He's not mentoring. He's just watching, and hopefully he doesn't have to jump in there and pull Randle back. And it's disappointing. It really is.
All right. I appreciate the call, Raxity. And you know what? It's a very good call, and we kind of saw that not only tonight, but we saw that against the Clippers game as well, where you see that it's Johnny Bryant going out there after the teammates are trying to cool Randle down, and even Tibbs tried to hold him back too in that game. But look, accountability, but we know this. We know how other players are held. We hear how everyone else is treated. I mean, you can look at how RJ's talked about in pressers, right? You won't hear about Julius Randle in a presser. You'll hear about RJ needs to, get back in the gym, shoot some more threes. So we see that there, and we see it. We see how everyone's treated. But to also be honest, there's also a different standard for different players on different teams too. I mean, we can go to the Clippers where you hear Kawhi's taking a plane in, everyone's waiting around for that one. And no one's saying that it should be that way. I'm not saying that it should be that way, but there's also a hierarchy into who's what's expected of each player, how each player is treated, and whether or not it's right. That just goes wrong. That's just happens on all teams. Let me get that out of the way first. For Randle, though, definitely got to keep your calm, especially when it comes down to money time, right? When you talk about the playoffs, you got to be calm. I totally agree with that 100%. As I said, hopefully you have Johnny Bryant. Look, he went out there again today trying to cool Randle down. He was the guy that flew down to Dallas trying to say, Randle, is this the type of player? Would you want to be around yourself? Is this the type of player you want to be? Would you want to, all that type of stuff? And it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see what unfolds in the playoffs. Hopefully Randle could keep his cool because you're not going to get a lot of calls in the playoffs, man. It gets more physical. It gets more challenging.
I think he will. I think when Brunson back, I think we won't see as much. It feels like when Brunson's not there, that's when he gets his most erratic and all that. I think when you get Brunson in there, I think Brunson calms everything down and all that, especially playoff time. It won't be like how it was in Atlanta. It's not going to get as many double teams and all that. I think once we get to the playoffs, I think he'll be more calm and all that. Brunson brings that, makes him relax and all that. So I think when Brunson's healthy in the playoffs, I don't think we'll see this Julius Randle.
Yeah. I hear you, but
it is frustrating. It is very frustrating.
It's a valid concern, especially when you saw last season. It's a very valid concern after what we all saw last season, and it's not saying that he's not talented. It's not saying anything like that. But you just want to make sure that he is capable of – you just want to make sure he's capable of staying cool under pressure, right? That's it. And, we actually did a whole interview for the Timberwolves preview with John Krasinski of The Athletic. Mm-hmm. And I just don't see Tibbs being able to do that where he can just reel in a player and calm a player down. Out in Minnesota, John talked about it. He said Tibbs didn't have the foresight to see what Jimmy Butler would do, even though it was getting ready. The volcano was getting ready to erupt out there, right? He just doesn't have that type of awareness when it comes to these things. He's a
Not his
guy that
style.
he's a guy that focuses on his job, and everyone else should just be professional enough to focus on their roles. And that's why they brought in guys like, Roy West, Leon Rose, to be the executives that can soften the blow and talk to the players. That's why they brought in someone like Kenny Payne, Mike Woodson, Johnny Bryant, to be the extension of Tibbs, to relate to the players, to talk to the players. We know all that. That this should not be news, but it's just frustrating when you're getting ready for the playoffs and you're seeing your top guy losing it when he needs to be the leader. When the four general isn't out there.
Definitely unacceptable. Definitely unacceptable how he handled the whole IQ thing. But I think he's going to calm down once Brunson's back and all that. That's the person that's going to get him to get back to playing like the Julius we've seen him all year. But today, unacceptable. How he handled the IQ, that can't happen. That cannot happen at all. You can't do that. Sorry.
Absolutely. All right, let's get back to the Discord. Rambo. Let's try again, Rambo. Rambo, are you there?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? 1 2 1 2.
There we go. 1 2 1 2. How you doing, Rambo? How you feeling?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm literally driving back to Tampa right now. I went to the game, and like Ari, man, I'm all right now, man. I'm okay. Like I've said before, we are exceeding expectations as of right now. We're not talking about the play-in. We're talking about the 5th or 6th seed. I'm good. I was going to leave my takes for Randle for the offseason, but he's unraveling right now. And I got to go ahead and I just got to say it. I got to lay it down right now. Okay? JD had a hot take earlier this year. He said Randle needs to play good and build up his trade value. We need him to come back around. That is the main piece for us right now to improve this roster. We have to sell high, buy low. Where's my guy? Where's the investor at? Who's that? Sam or Tom from Huntington, I believe. One of them, man. They always talk about this, man. It's time to make a move with Randle. I've been feeling this way since January, since he's been putting up these numbers, since he's had an all-star. Because one thing is, he has the bag. He is a great player. Don't take that away from him, but I already see the eye test. He's the same player that he can't be happy for none of his teammates unless he's doing well. I don't need that on my team. I don't want that on my team. He needs to go. He needs to go. As simple as that. Tibbs, y'all giving a lot of Tibbs right now. Back off on Tibbs. He came in here. He set the culture. He got these boys playing hard. We're competitive. To me, he's a placeholder. I see Johnny Bryant out there today. Man, Johnny is ready. Johnny's ready to take those reins, switch up that offense. It's about that time. We got to get rid of Randle, and we got to put Tibbs in the front office or something, because that's what he's better at. I was yelling at Tibbs at halftime, telling him he needs to sit Randle. Accountability, I was yelling at him. Accountability. Man couldn't even look my way because he knew he was wrong for bringing back Randle. Right? It makes no sense the way he plays out there. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. Come on, man. It's horrible, man. RJ, he's still low right now. I mean, I'm watching Toppin on the bike. Toppin looks checked out right now. I feel so bad for him, man. You guys were saying earlier how you don't see nothing from Toppin. I've seen 2 plays today from Toppin that I was really impressed by, where he's faking somebody out on the 3, getting a nice a nice little layup, or he's moving the ball around, keeping that offense. Man, listen, Toppin is a lot better than what we're giving him credit for, man. He's just checked out because he's not getting no love. He's not getting no play time. And I'm just over it. I got a list of players right now that we put Randle in as a main piece. We could go get him. You hear Jaylen Brown over there crying. The Timberwolves get knocked out the playoffs. Man, we're going to – what's up with Anthony Edwards? Now, listen, I'm sorry. I'm ready to go crazy. Don't give me anybody. I'm high. I'm in traffic right now, Alex. I'm still in traffic. I'm not even home. I had to remind the Magic fans that I had to remind the Magic fans that they are tanking this year. They're all in my face. Man, I gotta go, man. All love, man. Shout out to you, Alex. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate
CP,
it,
we don't need that, CP. Where you at?
Appreciate the call, Rambo. Man, Rambo's aggravated. He's aggy right now. I feel you, man. I feel you. I feel the pain. I understand the frustration. Woo! Man is ready to move Randle up out of here.
He wants Tibbs in the front office. He saw how
Yeah,
that
let's
worked in
not do that
Minnesota.
though. I ain't about that. I already saw that once. We don't need to do that
How
again.
that work in Minnesota? Yeah,
Yeah, we ain't
saw
trying to
that
do
so
that.
well, man. We don't
All
need that.
right. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Rapid fire. We got the truth on the line. Truth, what's going on, man? How you feeling? Hello?
Alex,
Yep.
hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. What's going on, man? How you doing?
All right, man. Yeah. You know, Discord be hating on me, man. What's up, y'all? What's up, Chris? Hey, look, man, I just left the game. Game ball go to Grimes. IQ get the second game ball. Get a couple extra credit points for standing up to Julius today. Julius, he just plays how he wants to play. He thinks he's a star. He knows he's a star. And I went in there with the 30 on today. You know what I'm saying? I supported him today. You know, wasn't expecting to see him blow up like that, but you know, I got my money's worth. But I hate to see him like miss Mitch on the cuts. Like Mitch really be cutting. Like I was at the game. You know what I'm saying? I seen Mitch cutting. They giving it to him all late and all whatnot. Like that's not gonna work. They need to sacrifice their egos. RJ and Julius sacrifice their egos. And this game might be, and if Brunson plays, we win this game. So I'm not even concerned. So everybody just need to calm down. Just know Julius passionate about his game. That he wanted the foul call. They didn't give it to him. It was clearly a foul. So I understand the frustration. But everybody just, you know, tone it down. Have a good night. You know what I'm saying? Hey, holla at y'all.
Appreciate it, Truth. That is the Truth calling. He was at the game. Salute to Truth. Woo! There we go. We're getting some different calls. We got Rambo saying, "Get Randle up out of here." We got Truth saying, "Look, he's passionate, man. We understand why he's angry. All right, let's keep it moving. We got 7 more games to go." Different calls, man. We get this. We get the gambit. We get the spectrum here on KnicksFanTV. That's why I love it, man. Get to hear all passionate fans, everything about it. I feel you though. I understand everybody, man. I understand.
As I'm saying, I get both sides. I get the sides that criticize him and understanding of Julius with the fouls and all that. I get both sides of the fence.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Especially on a 3-game losing streak, it's rough. It's rough to stay positive sometimes. But that's what we're here trying to do, man. We're trying to make sense of all of this. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Salute to Knicks Nation. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. And make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Salute to all the channel members. Salute to the mods. Salute to everybody, bro. Salute to everybody. All right, we got Stock Chasers on the line. Stock Chasers, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Chris, Alex? You guys hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, man? What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
What's up, bro?
Ain't not much, man. I'm Stock Chaser. My name is Donald, and I'm calling from the BX.
Donovan from the BX. What up, man? How you feeling today? How do you feel about this game?
All right, man. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real, man. I'm starting to get pissed off, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. So, you know, I'm not saying that we're falling apart. I'm not saying all of that. I think we're paying the price for Tibbs not sitting Julius, Jalen Brunson, all those games. If you guys remember that we were up 20-25, and he keeps these guys out there unnecessarily. At some point, you got to pull the plug. You got to bring in your bench, and I feel like he's just worn some of these guys down to the point that when we get to the playoffs, they're going to be spent, right? That's my first point. And then my second point is I'm looking around our competition in the East, and every team from 1 to 6 seed got wins under their belts. And like for example, Milwaukee 7-3 in their last 10. Philly's 9-1 in their last 10. Cleveland 8-2 in their last 10. Miami's heating up. I think Miami's going to be one of those teams that's heating up right at the right time, and they're 7-3 in their last 10. We're sitting here 4-6, and I just feel like we're 7 games away from the playoffs, and this is not the time to start unraveling as a team. And I'm looking at Julius Randle. He's unraveling every night, and you know, I feel like, man, they got to have a players meeting. Or something got to give, because I'm nervous, man, going into the playoffs. I'm not saying we're going to win the chip or anything like that, but I'm nervous, man. All these other teams are heating up, man, and we're cooling down, and it's the wrong time to do so. We're going to be, let's say, for example, we got to play the Cavs. It's a 7-game series. Adjustments are going to be made. These guys are going to play hard. And right now, I can't say that we can beat the Cavs right now. I don't feel like it. So that's all I'm trying to say, man. We gotta turn up, man. We're turning down at the wrong time, and I'm starting to get worried. That's all I gotta say.
Appreciate it, Donovan. That is Donovan from the BX. I like that call, man, just because I feel that. And like I said, start of the show, I am concerned. I'm starting to get a little concerned when you're starting to see this team go on a 3-game skid. You're seeing Brunson in and out of the lineup. I mean, Brunson's only played 4 out of the last 9 games that we're talking about. Last 10, I should say. Last 10 games. 4 of the last 10 games because he wasn't there for Boston. So you're concerned that our floor general is in and out of the lineup, whether it's a foot injury, now it's a hand injury. All these injuries coming at the wrong time. You're concerned. Hopefully he can be healthy and ready to go for the playoff action. You're starting to see, you're asking for guys to step up. We've seen them step up throughout times, whether Mitch was down, whether Brunson was out, whether RJ was out. And we're just asking them to do that again. And we're starting to see it struggle. We're starting to see some guys get frustrated, especially with the lack of calls. But we're getting close to playoffs. You got to keep your composure, man. It's all about composure when you get to this point.
100. Alex, are you worried about Brunson's, just getting nicked up a lot? Yeah, like you said, been in and out of lineup recently. Does that give you any concern? Because he's playing a lot more minutes. Like he's a bigger role this year, right? This is his first time with this bigger role. He's so used to playing, as third guard, with Dallas. Do you feel like maybe the load of this season, taking a bigger load, is starting to affect him?
I mean,
he's a small player too. He's an above rim player. I'm not
worried about the size. His moves are very aggressive. What he does, it's a very physical.
Very loud.
He's very physical. The way he attacks the paint, he uses a lot of footwork. It's a lot of staccato motions. Like it's a lot of jab stepping. It's a lot of. It's heavy, man. It's heavy footwork that he's doing, especially with all the movement, just to create the separation when he attacks the paint. Where he's doing the crossover too, and just trying to swing the ball around to draw the foul. It's a lot of physical stuff that he's doing. So I'm a little concerned, but he's a tough dude. Like he can manage it. It's just it's not really him. It's more so the coach. The coach has got to know when to relax some of these guys, but it's hard because you need Brunson. It's hard to say relax Brunson. Out of all the guys, it is difficult to say to relax Brunson because he is the biggest difference maker on this team. And you see that when he misses time, this team is 5-5 without him. Okay. And the 5-5, it's all over the place. It's not a consistent, it's like we're still in games, but it's meltdowns. It's poor shot selections. It's forgetting how to drive the lane and someone who can just make the defense collapse and open up shooters on the perimeter, open up spots for shooters on the perimeter. Stuff like that is why Brunson's so key for what this team does. And also his isolation scoring. He's in the 90th percentile. Well, if you get someone in the 90th percentile who's that effective, it's just another level. But getting nicked up at this time, sure, it's not, knock on wood, it's nothing crazy. He can come back. That's the thing. But I'd rather see him get rest and be ready for the playoffs. So rest him up, man. He's been dealing with injuries the entire season. He had a hip earlier? It's not a foot.
He's taking some hard falls too. He's taking some hard falls because
he plays 120%, man.
He plays hard. He's earning that money.
Absolutely. Awesome free agent signing, man. Awesome free agent signing.
The best.
But it's also a good signing, Chris. We are sponsored by Manscaped. So, gentlemen, spring has sprung, and our friends at Manscaped have the best tools for some spring cleaning. They've already helped you tidy up all the nooks and crannies of your body's basement. But this year, Manscaped can help you get the perfect presentation on that beautiful face with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. All right? Make sure to look your best this spring by using code KFTV to get 20% off free shipping at manscaped.com. All right? So if you haven't seen, all the guys on the team have got laced up with this. We got the new Beard Hedger Pro. This thing is awesome. If you guys are like me and you hate having to adjust the different why am I losing the name on it? Yeah, forget it. If you ain't using different clips, man, if you ain't changing the clips, I love this. It's one clip. You got an adjustable dial goes from 0.5 millimeters all the way up to 10, and it goes by 0.5 increments. It just makes it so much easier. So if you want to keep your nice long beard, if you want to make it short, this is the same. This is just the easiest, fastest way to go about it. All right. I like it. Makes things very simple for me. I've used other products. It's not as smooth and clean as this one. Highly recommend it. And when you get the kit, it not only comes with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, Beard Hedger, it comes with, you know, your beard shampoo, comes with the conditioner, comes with the beard oil, the beard balm to make sure you get that shine, a nice beard glistening in the light. All right. So highly recommend getting it. It comes with a hairbrush as well. Comes with a comb to make sure it looks nice, clean, fit, all that stuff. Because come on, what ladies don't like a nice clean beard? All right. I'm just telling you guys out there. All right. So make sure to go get your beard hedger at manscaped.com. Make sure to use the promo code KFTV and get that 20% off 20% off with free shipping. All right. Make sure to go get that. I really do like it. Really do appreciate it. Appreciate that Manscaped gets to, lace us up with all this good stuff. All right, man. Let's get back to the Discord. We got a few more calls that we gotta take. Let's see if Stay Mellow is ready for this time around. Let's see if Stay Mellow is ready to get back on the line. Stay Mellow, are you there?
Come on, Mellow.
Stay Mellow. Come on, man. Stay Mellow going once. Stay Mellow going twice. Unmute the mic. Is it working? Dang, man. Stay Mellow. TM, if you could help Stay Mellow. I don't know why the mic's not working. TM, the resident private tech guy on the channel, helps everybody out with their Discord questions. So TM, if you could help figure that out, that would be oh so grateful. All right, let's go to the last caller, Jay Serrano. You're going to be closing tonight. So Jay Serrano, hope you're ready. Jay Serrano, are you there? Going once. I see I muted the mic.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
There he is. Jay, there we go. We finally got, there we go. What's going on, Jay? How are you doing?
What's up, bro?
I'm doing good. Frustrated Knicks fan right now. I just wanted to discuss a few things, but it's nice to be on the show. First of all, just want to say, as a Knicks fan, we're so used to gloom and doom, and let's not panic. It's a three-game losing streak, but we'll be all right. That being said, the defense has definitely been worrying me a lot. I think Mitch is getting a little exposed on the three-point line. Like, that's not his forte to really be on the perimeter. And guys like Wendell Carter killed us from three-point line in the fourth quarter. Also, Randle, he's a great player, all-star, definitely deserved. But, that whole incident with Quickley, it definitely was a head-scratcher. Like, what is this guy doing, like, going at his own teammate? I think Tibbs definitely has to have a conversation with him after the game. Hopefully he's having that tonight or tomorrow. And Grimes, look at Grimes. Grimes had a great game tonight, probably one of his best games. And, honestly, I think he's showing the league why he should be getting more touches. He's showing Tibbs why he needs more touches. And I definitely think going forward next season, I think that's got to be on Tibbs' to-do list, is to get Grimes more involved in the offense, because when he's involved in the offense, things are happening. We're like humming, and also I think RJ, he's a little frustrating, that turnover, and I believe it was in the third or fourth quarter where he tried to
fourth
around
quarter.
and then that was terrible, and he's shown that a lot. And the thing with RJ is frustrating is that I think when he plays in a faster offense where people moving around, he can showcase his passing ability. But I think in this half-court set, it's like kind of like having the same player, RJ and Julius, out there. They're kind of like the same player, And I think RJ, from what I've seen, he's shown flashes that he can be great. But from what I've seen, it seems like he's just a stat pattern. I hate to say that, but he gets his little 25 points sometimes. It looks good on paper, but he's doing it on so many more shot attempts, you know, and Grimes got 25 on like 17, 18 shots, you know. So I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say, but shout out to you guys and thank you.
Appreciate the call, Jay. Appreciate you calling in and supporting the channel. Yeah, look, I don't know if I don't agree with the RJ stat padding. I don't think he's stat padding. I think he's
definitely not stat padding.
He's not stat padding. I think he's just trying. There's nights where he looks efficient, especially when he's able to get downhill. Tonight, he's not able to get downhill because the Magic were walling off the paint for not only him, but for RJ. And unless you were doing what Grimes does, which was shooting on the perimeter, knocking down your threes, then forcing them to have to come out and contest, then you have a lane to drive, and then you can find somebody in there. Guys like RJ and Randle who live on it, it's difficult. And if we did have Brunson, it would have been different. You know, this game would have been totally different because Brunson is just that dynamic scorer. He can attack at all three phases. And when you can have someone like that, opens up the game for everybody else. But unfortunately, Randle's in a cold streak right now, shooting from three. RJ's in a cold streak, shooting from three. Let me pull up the last 9 games because I have that open right now. So you have out of the guys. So Quickley is shooting 28.6% from three over the last 9 games. Randle shooting 26.8% from three. And you have RJ shooting 22.7% from three. When you have that on the court, all three of them together who've been struggling.
Versus a long team like Orlando. It's
tough. It's tough to create open lanes. And Grimes was the only guy that was consistently knocking down 3-pointers. So for guys like RJ, getting back to it, it's not stat padding. His game is just not so. Game is just not developed where he can attack at all three phases, and that's something that he's gonna have to work on to have a long career in the NBA. With Grimes, though, needs more touches, man. That's it. Point blank. Period. Needs more touches.
It's when he's cooking. That's a deadly asset. Like when we got to figure that out how to get him more because he was rolling today. The last few games, he's looked like the Grimes that that we've been seeing, that we want to see. So got to get him more touches. Got to get him.
Absolutely. But thank you, Knicks Nation, for tuning in for another Knicks Fan TV post game live. Once again, the New York Knicks fall to the Orlando Magic 106-111. Really wanted this win, especially after losing to the Miami Heat. I hate losing to the Miami Heat. I just do not like that team, man. No. After what Jimmy Butler did yesterday, I don't want to see a picture of Jimmy Butler. I do not want to see any pictures of Jimmy Butler. None whatsoever. Don't tag me in them. Don't send me any clips. Don't do anything. Don't need none of that. We don't need that, as CP would say. All right, but salute to Knicks Nation. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate all you. Please make sure to hit that like button. That thumbs up button for your boys, I should say. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to share these videos with all your friends, family members, cats, dogs, whoever. And if you can't catch us live, if you can't catch us on YouTube, we're also on all audio listening platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, you name it, we are there. Also, make sure to check out KnicksFanTV.com. We got some solid writers over there. We got Remy, Jeff, Chip, Luke, Jalen. All right, Max. We got a squad over there doing some good work over there. We got Mike over there as well. Everyone's putting in that work. Make sure to go to KnicksFanTV.com. Check out some of the articles over there, especially for Remy's recaps. After every single game, Remy drafts up his articles detailing how each and every single player who played in the night before performed, giving a scale of 1 to 5 rating. Also, if you're looking for reviews on your coach, he does it every single time. So if you want to get Remy's thoughts on Tom Thibodeau, he's got it for you right there. So make sure to go to KnicksFanTV.com and go check it out. Make sure to support our sponsors, Manscaped, PrizePicks, Athletic Greens. Also, salute to all the channel members. Salute to the mods. Salute to Knicks Nation. Salute to you, Chris. Awesome job tonight. Salute to Daniel. Appreciate you producing the show, Daniel. Salute to Gamba. Salute to everybody that's involved in making this show run. Salute to CP wherever he may be. Interesting how CP said he wanted to get out of town for this one. Interesting. Where did you go, CP? Let us know, man. Let us know. I'm just curious, man. Just curious on where you went. Just curious. All right. But we got one more super chat. Got to read from Jeffrey Falto. $20 super chat. Said Randle's lack of respect for his teammates is all I need to know that he doesn't belong in New York. Strong words right there. Strong
Very
words.
strong.
Jeffrey.
Very
Strong
strong.
words from there. And you know what? On that note, we'll cut it out right there. Appreciate you all tuning in. We'll catch you next week for another Knicks Fan TV post-game live or Knicks Weekly. We'll get something. Something's going to be coming through. Make sure to check YouTube. Make sure to check your feeds. And we'll be right back there. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We out.